Every time something big, some type of tragedy happens, some way, somehow, the Black community and Black businesses are always at the forefront of everybody's plan of action.
Saying boycott Asian businesses, we're going to say replace Asian businesses. Replace Asian businesses with Black businesses. Instead of even saying Asian boycott, that it should be more of we are using this opportunity to focus on ourselves. Instead of making every other community rich and being the catalyst for their economies, we need to start focusing on how we can do this. And we've lost sight of that because we have become dependent on other people to come into our communities and give us what we want, but they don't give us anything. We give them. So it's important for us, now that we've come to this conclusion, to really capitalize on it. So let's turn it around so they can't say that we're trying to hate them and we're pushing this narrative. We don't hate Asian people. I don't hate Asian people. I don't know about anybody else. Plus, Asian is a big, big word. Asian is a big, big word. You have Korean, Mandarin, Thai, Chinese, all kinds of Chinese, Vietnamese, Japanese, Filipino. Then you got the Indians that are in Asia. Shit, Russia. Goddamn it. Asia's big. That brush is too big for me to paint that much. Going to use this opportunity to start looking for more Black-owned businesses and recycling our dollars in communities where the people live, where I live. So I know those dollars are going to come back some kind of way. Instead of saying boycott Asian businesses, we're going to say replace Asian businesses with Black businesses.
The boycott movement that started after the Rick Chow verdict is showing no signs of slowing down. In fact, many people online now believe it's beginning to have a real impact.
Hey, Black community, how's that Asian boycott working out for you, man? I mean, I've been watching it online, how y'all gonna stop dealing with this Asian establishments and so on and so on. So that leaves me to wonder to all these women, where they're gonna get their hair from, their eyelashes, and where they're gonna get their nails and feet done. You know, and so on and so on. You know, where you're gonna get your Nike sneakers from and all that other shit. You know, I'm trying to figure it out. Me, I'm not boycotting shit. This is not my fight.
We're talking about the vid where everything was shut down and nobody was getting money.
You gotta be patient and believe.
Entrepreneur Gary Connell says he is trying his best to stay positive, even though his now opened hair salon has been struggling financially ever since stay-at-home orders were imposed in March.
And I live with that.
After 15 years as a hairstylist, Connell threw his savings into opening his own studio in Montgomery County, Maryland in early March. Less than a month later, Healthy Hair was among the businesses shut down during the coronavirus outbreak. The 57-year-old business owner was left in a tough spot.
Well, we got the stimulus, and the stimulus went in a week. And unemployment, I've been trying since they started unemployment. And nothing, to no avail. It's just like the small business loan also, nothing. So some people get it, and some didn't.
Even though the salon has reopened, Connell says he is worried it could take him another 2 months to catch up on backdated expenses.
When we're talking about the PPP loans that people are still coming after people for.
Everybody was doing the PPP. My cousin did it, my brother did it, then my best friend did it. I said, sign me up. Now, I wish I never did the shit. So, bruh, 4 years after the money already spent, I get a knock at the door the other day. Boom, 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 Dallas Police Department, open the door, we know you're inside. I open the door because I ain't do shit. What the hell y'all banging at my door like that for? Put your hands behind your back, you're under arrest. I'm like, damn, what the hell I do? Can I put my dog up? They're not giving me no information, not letting me put my dog up. Get to the van, take me downtown. I'm in booking, asking, what am I being arrested for? They're not giving me no information. I find out when I get in front of the judge, I got 4 charges. Bank fraud, wire fraud, making false statements, and tax evasion. So the judge never mentioned PPP. So it's not registering to me what am I actually here for. So he set my bond at $20,000. I go back to my cell. I'm talking to my cellmate and I tell him about the charges. He like, bro, that's for PPP.
A lot of the cases in fraud and some of the professional cosmetologists going to jail for fraud. These things, or just a lot of these random businesses like veneer techs and all of the different things, All of these things all came on the back of a tragedy, right? And for whatever reason, it always goes on the back of black businesses. But when everything is peaceful, when everything's calm, when there's nothing wrong, when there's no justice to fight for, everybody's crickets when it comes to black businesses. When there's no tragedy happening, the last thing I remember, black nail techs were the worst. They had the worst prices, they charged too much, and all of the things.
Me, but I just went to a white hairstylist for the first time in my life. Let me just explain to you start to finish this process, and then I think you'll understand what I mean. Okay, so I needed to get my hair straightened, mostly because I needed a trim. And I asked one of my black coworkers, because her hair, she's like a straight natural, she always wears it straight. I was like, where do you go to get your hair done? She goes, I go to this white lady, but hear me out, she's amazing, like would highly recommend. She knows how to do hair, she knows how to do our hair, like trust me, just try her. I was like, I feel skeptical, but I go in, sweet lady. She says, what are we doing today? I said, I need my hair washed and then blow dried, straightened, trimmed. That's what I need today. She's like, great, we got it. I was like, you got it? She was like, I got it. I was like, okay, sure. So she shampoos my hair, great, fine. She gets done with my hair. She's like, okay, your hair's a little dry. I'm gonna go ahead and do a deep conditioning treatment. I was like, great, sounds great. She's like, but we've got to sit under the hood dryer. I was like, great. So I sit under the hooded dryer. I get out. She washes my conditioner out. Gets going. She's like, okay, let's start to blow this out. Pulls out her Denman brush. I said, honey, where'd you hear about that? She's like, yeah, this is what I was like, got it. Uses the Denman brush, blows out my hair. Gorgeous, by the way. In small sections, beautiful. Took her time. I didn't have to worry about my hair being yanked and pulled out and breaking off. She gets done. She's like, okay, let's go ahead and straighten. She pulls out her rat tail comb. I said, you're about to use that? She said, I'm about to use that. I said, I was wrong. I'm so, let me just get out of your business. Let me let you handle what you know how to handle. She did my whole hair, trimmed me. I said, this was beautiful, wonderful, gorgeous. Thank you for all you do. Oh, by the way, also curled my hair at the end. I say, hey, how much do I owe you? She says, $80. I said, is there one before the 80 or maybe a two before the 80? Because like, that's kind of what I'm used to. Because mind you, you deep conditioned my hair, you trimmed it. I have layers, by the way. It wasn't just a straight across. I have layers. She had to trim layers. And she also curled it. So I was like, are you sure that that's the right number? She's like, yeah. I handed it over willingly and then some. And I just, after that experience, I'm just like, what am I doing going to the other gals, you know, when I have this in my back pocket? I have fine hair, but I have very dense hair. I have a lot of hair. And even when I mentioned that on my own, I was like, yeah, just so you know, I got a lot of hair. She was like, yeah, you do have a lot of hair, but isn't that a blessing? I was like, what? She said, it's just, I was like, yeah, you know, but you know, curly hair is a lot of work. She was like, yeah, but it's so worth it. I was like, you're more pro-black than most of the stylists that I go to who see my head of hair and then say, hey, gotta charge you $100 more because you've got a lot going on and this is like kind of too much to deal with. More affirming than any stylist I've ever been to in my life. And now I'm sitting here like, I'm sure it's not every white stylist. I'm sure I found a golden ticket. But I'm sorry. To the stylists who have touched my hair before, you simply aren't going to see me anymore. And I feel so bad because I love supporting black business. I love it. It's in my blood. You know what I mean? But I just, knowing what I know now, I can't go back. You know what I mean?
But now that this has happened,
I thought this issue with the Asians was uniting Africans, Caribbeans, and Black Americans. But I'm seeing videos where Black people are showing their beauty supply stores, and there's those weird FBA people in the comment section talking about, you're not Black, you're African. This is only for FBAs. We don't need y'all. So I'm telling Africans and Caribbeans, leave them. You see how all the Asian people united to go against Black people, and Black Americans still hadn't picked up on that. We are stronger united than divided. Leave them. Stop defending them. I'm going back to supporting the Asians. Fuck them niggas. They so fucking disrespectful and nasty, and they try to act like they better than everyone. Leave them. The bitches already can't leave that fucking hair alone, so the boycott is a lost cause anyway.
Yo, y'all are not the fucking birthday. You're not the birthday. It's so irritating. Like, they literally have to hijack everything that Black Americans have going on. First of all, I've seen plenty of them, once again, like I said in a previous video, promoting their businesses. Cool. But don't do it under the guise of Black American. That's all anybody's saying. Why do y'all get to practice group economics, but we don't? Why is it so offensive that we're literally saying, okay, let's pool our money together and let's show strength in the numbers that we have because we outnumber you motherfuckers here? I don't know why y'all act like there's not more of you in this country than there are us. You got your little your little asylum states and communities and your little enclaves that got your head all fucked up thinking that it's like that all over this country. It's not. You're not the majority here, sis. And this is the same girl that claimed she was half Black American and half Haitian and was trying to disprove the ancestry test, the DNA test. Anyways, it's just like the nasty vitriolic way in which she speaks about foundational Black Americans is very telling. Like, fuck them niggas and oh, you bitches, and this is really how they feel deep down inside. They were just waiting for the perfect opportunity and for the perfect moment for this
type of rhetoric and how they actually feel to rear its ugly head. They just needed something, because why are they even inserting themselves in this? But then when we say, oh, y'all tether on, y'all literally pretend to be Black Americans so that y'all could gain access to certain things, resources, support. They say that we're lying. They say this does not exist and it's not true. The young boy that got unalived by that Asian guy was not an African. Carmelo Anthony is not an African. We've literally been experiencing anti-Blackness, injustice, racism, prejudice, and discrimination in this country, and way worse before y'all started migrating over here by the droves.
Ever since that, right now, nobody is supporting Asian businesses anymore. So now it's like, okay, let's support Black businesses. But just a couple of months ago, everybody hated Black businesses, and Black businesses were the worst. Let's talk about Black businesses when it comes to hairstylists and nail techs, right? For the longest time, there have always been categories. And again, before COVID started, there were so many different laws and so many different things that, I'm not gonna lie, cosmetologists, we could get away with a lot. Not with our clients, but just the way we paid our taxes and all of the things. But when when COVID hit and everybody was a hairstylist, then everybody and everything was content, then everybody started posting how much money they were making on a regular basis and talking too much. Most cosmetologists know to shut up, but most people who don't have licenses, they don't know, because they don't know the game. So they get in, they're talking, and the IRS is like, we ain't even know Black women was making that much money doing hair, but now they do. Yeah, so a lot of us got audited and all of the things, but Black businesses have always been around since forever. What about Annie Turnbow? And I had Annie Turnbow's blood here on the channel, link in the description box below. I've been in the field, okay? And Black businesses have been around since the beginning of time, but once again, just like in other industries, when the Asian community came in, they were like, okay, we can do it for the low. How much are they charging? We can do it for $10 cheaper. And people ran to the group of people that charge the lowest amount of money. Let's be real. Let's not sit here and act like the majority of Black women don't go to the Asian nail shops. Not because there are no Black nail salons, because there are 50 million Black nail salons. But you don't go because you can go to the Asian nail shop and you can get charged half of what you would pay in a Black nail salon. And that's just that on that. Now, I live in Las Vegas, Nevada, and I've been here for over a decade, right? And if you live in Vegas, most of these things you don't know unless you watch a whole lot of crime TV or unless you live here, right? Or unless you're from here. And Vegas is ran by the mob. Let me say that. Okay, allegedly. There was a case, and I won't be saying anybody's name, girl, because ain't nobody about to come for me. I won't be saying anybody's name, but I do need my glasses. There was this nail salon that will remain nameless because I don't got time, and that nail shop came right in the same parking lot as a Solar Salons, right? A Solar Salons, and that in that Solar Salons there were at least 10 different nail techs just in that salon alone. And then right around the corner and right across the street there was a whole nother complex, and there were a bunch of other nail techs in there, right? And 2 other nail salons in there, and all of them were American nail salons, which this isn't a versus, we just telling the story. And so I remember a lot of the nail techs were like so hurt because it was a bigger nail salon, so they had about 20 nail techs in there, which is a whole lot, because most standard nail techs, nail shops, they'll have about 6, maybe 9, but never that many. So they had a crap load of nail techs in the salon, and they were doing full sets for like $20, right? And so of course almost all of the nail techs that were in there, they ended up losing. Of course, it's devastating because to start a business is not cheap, like with all of the licensing that you have to pay, and that's not even just your license as a nail tech, but just, you know, to get the studio, to furnish the studio, all of the licensing, the permits, all of the things, the equipment. It's a lot of money. It's really, really expensive. And then booth rent, whether you are a nail tech that's fully booked or just getting started, booth rent is starting a minimum of almost $300 a week minimum, right? So they were really, really struggling anyway at the beginning phases, but it was cool because it was a hustle. And even some of them that had been there for years, with the price of the equipment and the product, how do you compete with a place that has 20 different nail techs sitting in at one time that's doing full sets of acrylic any length with gel polish for $20? How do you compete with that? Well, it didn't last for well, that's not true, because the salon was around for 2 years, and some of those women were freaking amazing. They suffered through and they just found a different way to bring more clients in, but a lot had to close their businesses and moved out. So I vividly remember, right, and I'm gonna try to speak frankly because, like I said, Vegas owned by the mob, and I don't know, girl, listen, girl, you can, girl, Google it. So the nail shop ended up being closed down because, come to find out, it was like a trafficking ring. So all of the women that worked within the nail salon, they actually really weren't licensed, but that wasn't the biggest deal. The biggest deal is that it was kind of like payment. They had came over here illegally through whatever little system they had, and they were like, them doing nails was the way that they paid for their room and board. That was the way that they paid for food. And if you pay attention, in most nail salons, and I'm not saying that this is everybody, but around that time, and it could still be like that now, but most of the time when you go to pay, you don't give them the money. You can't even tip them. Some of them are weird, like, no, I can't take the money. And that's because the money wasn't theirs. They were working to live. They were working to eat. And that's why they were able to do $20 full sets and do $20 gel nail sets. And there was no way that other nail techs could compete with that, because how, like, the just the monomer and polymer alone is extremely expensive, right? All of those tools and utensils, especially when you're dealing with people's hands and feet, those are pathways to so many different germ pathways and parasite pathways within the human body. So all of these things, most of the things, if not all of the things inside of a nail tech studio isn't reusable. So she or he is replacing things all the time, so they couldn't compete. And this has been going on for decades upon decades upon decades. So now that we have phones, now that we have cell phones, now that we have devices, now you can visually see the things that professional cosmetologists or professional nail techs or professional makeup artists have been saying for decades. I remember when I was in studio salons, I had around the same exact time that nail tech had opened up, there was an esthetician that was next door, and she was so hurt because she had started a brow business, right? And they did like $2-3 eyebrow waxing in there, and she was losing her clients to those people. But then her clients would come back months later like, oh my god, like I have this infection in my eye, was whoop, and she wasn't able to treat them. She just had to send them to a dermatologist. But after she sent so many of her clients to the dermatologist, that's when she began to get into trichology and other things, and she left being the esthetician from that realm, and then she went more into like the type of esthetician that's working inside of a doctor's office, which is what I did. because of the way that so many women are, because of the way that you have to argue and go back and forth with clients to do your job, then it puts you in a position where you have to make a choice. Like, okay, do I want to serve my clients from this perspective, behind the chair, going back and forth arguing, or do I want to do it from a more professional clinical state where I won't have to prove myself over and over again, where they're coming in with a mind frame understanding my expertise. And that's what I do now. I'll never drop the name of the clinic that I work at. I'll never do those things. But here on social media, I will say that I am an independent contractor that has a partnership with a dermatologist. So I still work for myself. That's why I still get on YouTube. I still have the Apothecary and all of the things. But that's one of the main reasons why I chose the name Apothecary instead of like herbal store or product line and things of that nature. It's an apothecary because it's a different feel, which will be for a different video. But I'm not being mean and nasty. Like I said, I feel like I've spent the last couple of weeks here on my channel showing you that I'm not biased, like showing you some real dusty hairstylists. But what I've also been doing lately is showing you some really amazing cosmetologists that have been around for a long time. So my question is this, like, yes, there's nothing wrong with it. Even it's always some way for it to be some type of drama, because instead of people supporting Black Americans, they're supporting African businesses.
You know, I'm really grateful for the people who have definitely jumped on supporting small brands or small Black-owned businesses.
So yes, people are jumping on and piggyback off of our Black movement, and now what people are trying to do is trying to be opportunists.
However, I'm truly disappointed in the ones who don't, just because some of us are from a diaspora.
So I don't think Black Americans are doing that because specifically you're from a diaspora. They're doing that because they're trying to do their own group economics. That's what they're doing.
I have never in my life grew up where I've seen people so segregated and so separated. Then you want to separate the Blacks from the people who are the immigrants or whatever the case is.
So I hate when y'all come up on here and lie. So we're going to break this down right now and stop all the lies right now. All right, so this is Little Ghana in the Bronx, a Little Accra, right, where people came into our community, separated, and made their own community. This is Little Senegal, right, in Harlem. Go to Harlem, you see Little Senegal, where they came into our communities and separated and hired their own friends and family and did business with each other. This is Africa Town. Actually, they just officially made this Africa Town. This is Africa Town, where they again came into our communities, separated, and hired their own friends and family and did business with each other. I got something for y'all too, Caribbean. We got Little Caribbean in Brooklyn, right, where again they came into our community, separated, and hired their own friends and family and did business with each other. Little Guyana and Queens, again, came into our community, separated, and did their own business with each other, with their friends and family, and the Indo-Caribbean community. Little Haiti in Brooklyn, again, come into our community, separated, and hired their own friends and family, and did business with each other, and also Little Caribbean. What's going on? I don't see nobody crying about this. So again, what Black Americans are doing is what everybody been doing for the last 55 years, where they came into our communities, separated, hired their own friends and family, and then did business with each other. Nobody complained for the last 55 years. Now, finally, when we peacefully and respectfully saying we're going to kind of do the same thing, hire our own friends and family, make sure 85% of our average monthly income outside of utilities and savings are going into Black American-owned businesses. And we're not shutting you out. What we're saying is only 15% is going into other communities, right, that respects us. The goal is to remove leakages and keep the money within the community. Black Wall Street wasn't Black Wall Street because they had this community, that community, this community, that community, and the communities. It was Black Wall Street because they shopped at Black American-owned businesses and Black American-owned businesses only. This is how they had the economic Iron Dome, where Cadillac had to come and ask for Black Americans for help, where during the Great Depression they came to us for money, right? So Black Americans saying, is it Black American owned? It's not xenophobic or xenophobia, because if we want to go with xenophobia, let me walk into any Jamaican store anywhere and see if you see a Black American. Go into an African store, see if you see a Black American. Go into a Caribbean store, see if you see a Black American. You won't see it. So you're not going to gaslight us and force us to spend our $1.9 to $2.6 trillion and try to gaslight us with boogeyman names like xenophobia, hatred, jealousy, all these other boogeyman words. It's not happening. We see y'all trying to hide under the umbrella of Black owned. This is why we asking for the background, your names. And I want more Black Americans ask for the background. American names. A lot of people trying to hide their accents. No, we looking for Black American owned business. And again, peacefully and respectfully. Got no hate toward nobody or nothing. We got to make sure we good. Our saying is charity starts at home. That's our ancestors saying. We trying to make sure we keep that.
A lot of y'all won't admit it, but you're an opportunist. All of these Black and Caribbean and African immigrants that's over here talking about Black Americans are being divisive, because when we say support Black business, we mean Black American business specifically. You are an opportunist, because y'all are the same ones that have been banding together for the longest to come against Black Americans, talking about how we don't own no businesses, we lazy, we ain't got no culture, we live off the system, we don't take advantage of all of these opportunities that are just handed to us right here just for being an American. Y'all are not taking advantage of none of those opportunities, and we come over here with nothing, with pennies in our pockets, and like poof, be magic with a little bit of hard work. We just surpass you guys in a couple of years. Y'all are the same ones. Ain't y'all the same ones that said that? Like, I mean, I made several videos about this before, so I'm a little bit confused. Why is it a problem for us to support Black American business? Is it necessary for us to include you when we're talking about? Why is it always necessary for us to include the entire collective? That's the reason why we're in this situation right now, is because we don't focus enough on ourselves. We don't practice group economics enough amongst ourselves as Black American people. We don't do that enough. In every other group, not just Black immigrants, every other group of people practices group economics within their specific group. Haitians own businesses, Jamaican, whoever else, Nigerian, Ghanaian, whatever, African town, all this other kind of stuff that focuses on a specific group. But for whatever reason, when it's us doing it, that's the only time that it becomes divisive. But everybody else does it.
And this person had a really good point, because if a Black woman, if a Black cosmetologist makes a statement, if a Black nail tech makes a statement and says, okay, well, we've had our own Black businesses that haven't had the type of support that they should have, because our own people are comparing us and comparing our prices and our rates to what certain people that come here from other countries are doing, and we're not respected because we have to compete against them. So if we say, okay, we want to have our own area, or we want to have our own method of running a hair salon, or our own price points and things of that nature, I don't think that the problem wholeheartedly is the other races. I think the problem wholeheartedly is within our race is not respected. Within our race is like, girl, you charging too much, you know. That place over there, you know, they do it for $20. And so we're put in a position where it's like, okay, do I want to be able to live and give quality service, or do I just want to be able to eat? Because at the end of the day, that's the situation that you're put in, because they're not buying quality products. They're not using the type of things that we're using. They don't have the same type of overhead that we have. So things won't be the same. So as a community, can we get to a place where we're not bargaining like we're at a swap meet with each other when it comes to professions in the Black community? And this isn't just in the hair salon. This isn't just with estheticians. This is with mechanics. This is with photographers. This is with your barbers. This is all of the things, all of the different types of Black businesses that Black people have. You got a discount? You got any codes for Black History Month? That's Black people's problems, because we can never scale. Whenever you start a business, okay, starting a business is one thing. Okay, yeah, people are coming in, people are purchasing, but I need to make enough money to have a profit, to put money in my pocket and do better, and be able to put more money into the business so I can make my product better and better and better and better and better year after year. But for the most part, in the Black community, most businesses can never do that. Between have to always have lower prices and always doing sales and discounting their products, you also are at risk of having a different video done about you, about how your product then fell off, or how you not doing that good, or how they don't like it. The majority of black people within industries purchase products so they can do reviews and talk about it. Most people care more about buying products so they can tell people all of the things that they like and dislike about them than they do spending the time actually knowing what the product is. Just like there was a video reaction that I did a couple of weeks ago where everybody was like, oh, we love her, and her video went viral because she's like, oh, bond treatments are bad, they're scamming us, look at the ingredients. She didn't put up any like ingredient list from some fringe website that nobody can find that she has the links to. All of these ingredients were on the back of the bottles before you ever bought it. So my question to you is, why is it that we don't read anything? We wait until one person reads and be like, here's my book report, here's what I read, and then everybody just regurgitate the same information over and over and over again. Why is that? Somebody asks, oh, Sia, what do you think about this? Can you make a video response for this? I love you so much, but why would you ask me to make a video response to this?
Oh my god, look at that messy hair. Brush it permed or dyed damaged. Brush it static and flyaways. Just use this 5-in-1 air cushion brush. It comes with a self-cleaning spray, red light therapy, heating, and scalp massage. No hairstylist can talk me into getting a salon.
As a people, we know for a fact that this is AI. And let me ask you a question. Why is the first thing that they're saying in this AI video, oh, a hairstylist could never pay me, they could never catch me, or something like, a hair salon will never get my money in the hair salon?
3, 2, 1, go!
Oh my god!
Brush it. Stylish flyaways, just use this 5-in-1 air cushion brush. It comes with self-cleaning, spray, red light therapy, heating, and scalp massage. No hairstylist can talk me into getting a for-long card. And take a look. How much do similar products cost elsewhere? Mine is way cheaper. If you can still see the shopping cart icon, that one now.
And there was another one that was just showing how like hard to manage black hair is, and then there's a mom going through her daughter's hair with the tool, and then the dad's going through it with a comb, and he's like, oh, it's so hard to get through, but then she takes the brush through and it's like, ooh, it glides.
Ready, go!
Messy hair? Brush it. Permed or dyed damage? Brush it. Stylish flyaways? Just use this 5-in-1 air cushion brush. It comes with self-cleaning, spray, red light therapy, heating, and scalp massage. No hairstylist can talk me into getting a for-long card. And take a look. How much do similar products cost elsewhere? Mine is way cheaper. If you can still see the shopping cart icon, that one now.
If y'all can't see what they doing right in your face, like, that's on you. And that's why people like me have decided to like turn their content into something else or go behind a paywall. And I don't even want to say that I'm behind a paywall, but I've moved to a completely different profession. I'm not saying that cosmetologists are lower than me or anything like that, because I'm still a cosmetologist and just not practicing, right? But I think one of the hardest parts about it is to just hear all of these people say, oh, I hate hair salons, I'll never go to a hair salon again. I hate hairstylists, I'll never go to hairstylists again. And when I ask these women, oh, well, how did you find the hairstylist? Oh, well, I went on Instagram and she had a bunch of followers. Or my sister-in-law Tracy's baby daddy stepsister's little sister, she do hair, and she just got her license and her pictures look cute. Like, that's how y'all have been finding y'all cosmetologists, when you're really supposed to go to a consultation and go to multiple consultations. I say book consultations with at least 2 cosmetologists. That way you talk to one cosmetologist, they give you one, they say one thing, and you talk to another cosmetologist, they say another thing. And then based on the science of the human body that you've taken the time to learn, then you're able to pick which one out of the 2 is best. Or maybe you get a third, and by you having a third consultation, and then you could go home, sit there, think about all 3 conversations you had and which one lines up with what you're actually looking for. Then you end up finding an amazing cosmetologist like one of these. But the majority of you don't do that. The majority of you find your cosmetologist like y'all finding these dusty niggas. And then getting mad at all cosmetologists, just like you call all black men ain't shit because you've been picking out of the same bucket. Huh? You've been picking out of the same bucket. The common denominator is you. So why do you keep attracting these types of men? Why do you keep attracting these types of women? Why do you keep attracting these types of cosmetologists? How are you going about booking them? Because nobody could ever book me just through seeing my stuff on YouTube or on Instagram and being like, I want to sit in your chair. It never happened that way, ever. They only sat in my chair after a consultation, and then after they left, we both got to think about it, ponder it, and then if we align with each other, we will go ahead and move forward. She would book her appointment. She would go ahead and book her appointment if she, after her consultation, after she was ready to make her decision, and then I had to approve the appointment. So I would be like, oh, that's the girl from the consultation. Yeah, she was a good vibe. Approve. Or, nah, she was dusty as hell. She had her baby daddy and 6 of her kids in there. Denied. That's how it would go. But you guys don't do that. You just go up to whoever and let whoever in your head and then penalize all black women for it. And that's not fair. And the same thing should go for every service provider, because all people are not the same. It looks insane. Even like, oh, well, black cosmetologists or black nail techs are so expensive and this and that, where in Solar Salon, the black nail techs charge cheaper than everybody else. They have the lowest prices out of everybody else. That's how it will go with the price list. It would be Asians would have the lowest prices, then black people, then everybody else.
Y'all, watch this.
Someone said my videos was foolishness. Doing $25 nails was foolishness. Me doing $25 nails got me out of the hood, got me into several suites where I was making $100 a client. They got me to instructor school. They got me into my own school. They got me into my own office where I don't have to worry about clients no more. They got me into paying my house off. They got me into selling my house. They got me into having a custom home built from the ground up on 2 acres of land in the forest. That is what $25 set of nails did for Stay Ready. Driving my dream Escalade. That is what $25 set of nails did for me. That gave me peace of mind in my own office.
These are struggle prices. So you want professional cosmetologists or professional nail techs, that professional beauty professionals that have spent the time and the money on the equipment and all of the things. You want them to compete with people who are just kind of playing or doing it based off necessity. It's a hustle. It's a difference between having a profession and a hustle. So if black people are going to do this fight the power thing, let's get ready to support black businesses, not black hustles, because there's a difference. And if you're gonna truly support black businesses and black hustles, treat it like a business. You only hustle a hustle. Yeah, you gonna hustle a hustler. Somebody like, hey, yeah, baby, let me get some in my hand for about 25 cents. Yeah, you hustle them. Y'all playing, y'all bargaining. It's a business. When it's a business, my price is my price. I don't care how much money is in your account. I don't care what your baby daddy, sister-in-law, Tracy with the cleft foot said. It's a business. So the price is the price. So I really hope that everybody understands what I'm trying to say. But like, could we do something else? Could y'all figure out another form of the black community to try to support? Because it's annoying. It's annoying that the only time black businesses have attention, or the only time anybody thinks to support black businesses without patronizing them, is when something horrible happens. Why can't it be something that's happening? Because it's Wednesday. And the only person who has to explain themselves when they raise their prices are black people. So if we're gonna do this whole fight the power, let's come together. Coming together isn't, oh, let's come together and black people gonna start supporting black businesses, but only if the black businesses have the products or have the prices that the last businesses had, that the Asian markets and stuff had. If I come to your black nail shop, but if you don't do the full sets for the low like they did at the Asian salon, then I'm not gonna support. Then don't support. Because black hairstylists and black cosmetologists, black hairstylists, black braiders, when I say black, I mean black Americans. We've been making it this whole time without the support. We've been making it the whole time. Black nail techs have been in there. Okay? I have so much respect for black nail techs. First of all, as a cosmetologist, I am also a nail tech. I just chose hair. So I take my hat off 1000% to cosmetologists or to nail techs that have stuck it out all of this time. But I think that, and I could be the only person who feels this way, but for me, I feel like it's a slap in the face that every time something happens, every time something bad happens on the outside world, all of a sudden everybody can pay attention to the black businesses that have been out since forever. That I don't like that. I don't like that. Like, figure out something else. Figure out another way to fight the power, because it doesn't help black businesses. It hurts, because y'all are only doing this because that's how the emotions are right now. But when something else happens, y'all are gonna put y'all attention to somewhere else, and then y'all got black cosmetologists or black nail techs on this high thinking things are gonna change and things are gonna be different, where in reality this was just the next wave, the next vibe everybody was catching. Because y'all do something else if you not gonna be for real. Because black businesses have been out for the longest time. And again, I just think it's so rude for everybody to be like, oh yeah, black businesses, let's support them whenever something bad happens. So what does that make black businesses? Are we the fall guy? Oh, hey, come on, you guys. It's time for us to take pictures with you guys and tell everybody how you're the important ones and you're the one that's gonna grow our business. Okay, well, if that's the case, let's do it. It's not a problem, but let's not go backwards, because this happens every time. Every time something bad happens, black businesses, we got ourselves. We can do it on our own as long as we get a discount. We can do it ourselves as long as you don't charge us full price, because we were slaves. We coming as long